meditation. And just checking to make sure that we're on and all of that. Hope you're having a nice day today. I'm semi-distracted by the fact that the Dodgers are playing, but that's okay. I don't mind missing the first little, first 2.5, 3 innings anyway. And I probably won't watch till later. I don't know. I'm a little distracted by it. Yesterday was the Red Sox. Today's the Dodgers. It's the whole thing. Okay, there we go. I see we're on. It's very nice. Okay. So we're talking about Parshat Noah, and yesterday we talked about really the Tower of Babel and how they built that tower to make a name for themselves. And today, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about one part of the Noah story, and it's the very beginning of the story. There's a particular line, and the line goes like this. It says, the earth became corrupt. The earth was filled with lawlessness. When God saw how corrupt the earth was, for all flesh had corrupted its ways on earth. I've always wondered how it is that the earth can become corrupt. And I've never had a great answer for it. How is it that the actual earth itself became corrupted? And I think I did find something that kind of gives an interesting take on it, because there's 2 ways that we have to approach this. As you may know from the Noah story, the people were corrupt, right? And it said that in the first line, the earth became corrupt, and the earth was filled with lawlessness. So we know that the people were acting terribly. It may have been their sexuality, and there's some commentaries where there were bestiality, and it was unnatural, and just a whole bunch of kind of things that you'd expect from 2,000 years ago. The commentaries. And they were trying to figure out how it was that the people were just so awful that God needed to destroy all human flesh. And this line here, for all flesh had corrupted its ways on earth, and then the next line, God tells Noah God's decided to destroy everything. So this is a very important line, right? God saw how corrupt the earth was, for all flesh had corrupted its ways on earth. And there's this wonderful commentary from Sforno, who lived, I think he was born in 1475, something like that, and lived to like 1520, 1525. So he was 15th, 16th century. And he said that the earth was corrupt without external influences as a natural consequence, not due to man's ecologically criminal behavior. Although on the surface, there appeared to be no connection. Man's corruption resulted in the corruption of his habitat. The language used here by the Torah is comparable to something else in Isaiah, which I don't think is that important. So what it's saying here is, the Torah is speaking about the end product of humanity's corruption, bringing in its wake, though invisibly, the destruction of the earth's crust. So incredibly, what is this? I guess 500 years ago, he's saying, because humanity was so corrupt, it actually affected the earth's core invisibly, right? It's just like you couldn't see it. But by humanity being corrupt in its way, then the earth itself became damaged. And I can't help but think about what we've done to the world in the last 150 years with, our fossil fuel use and the ozone layer and climate warming. And isn't that us corrupting the earth? And the earth is hurting because of it, right? All the landfill. Look at what happened here in Los Angeles. We had an oil accident, and it's horrible. It's just 20 miles down the coast. You can't swim in it. It's killing all of the wildlife because we're corrupting it. We're corrupting the earth. It's not an outside influence, it's us. Although I don't want this to become an ecological talk. I like the idea that what we do, I don't want this to be a grand ecological talk, but it can be about us as human beings. That what we do in our life, how we interact with the world, and how we interact with each other, has an effect on the physical world that we live in. And I think that's an incredible concept. Hello, sis. Hello, Chuck and Lisa. Hello, Michelle. I think it's an incredible concept to think about, that how we treat others. And it might not even be how we treat the earth itself. How we treat each other has an effect on the earth. That when we're good to each other, when we love each other, when we're compassionate towards each other, it has an actual, hello, Jerry, has an actual impact on the earth itself. That seems almost outlandish, yet I could see how it's also true. And then we could also talk about what is our personal relationship with the natural world, and are we doing our best in helping it? You know, it's like that question: if you have a car to purchase, do you purchase an electric car so that it doesn't, damage the environment any more than we already have? Do we use solar power instead of using gas power? A lot of these questions, a lot of the ways that we live our lives can be decisions that we personally make to have an effect on the environment. I don't use solar power in my home. I don't know if you do, but I'm not sure if I think about everything that I do in terms of the effect that it's having on the earth. I don't think I'm deliberately doing something to damage it, but I love the idea of noticing whether we have any kind of corruption inside of us as we deal with other people, or as we deal with the world, as we deal with society in general. Is there a corruption in us? Is there I don't like to use the word perversion because it has a sexual connotation, but is there something you look at that actually you might be looking at through a skewed lens? That's an interesting question to ask. Is these relationships we have with others and the relationship we have with the natural world, and is it in sync with it, or are we fighting against it in the things that we're doing? I think, up in Oregon and in Washington, you guys probably don't have this issue as much because I think that it's not as commercial as we are in Los Angeles. But I'm sitting here looking outside. There's a little tiny lawn there in my backyard. There is plant life here. I do get in my car and drive around. There are ways that I should be able to help. So let's notice this as we go to our thoughts. Maybe those kinds of thoughts are going to come up in our minds as we concentrate in our breathing. So let's get into a comfortable yet strong position, so that we can just be. So far this week, it feels like I've already lived a week. It feels like I'm at Friday. Lots happened. A lot to think about. I cherish this 20 minutes we're going to have, where we'll just be. You don't have to accomplish anything in the next 20 minutes. You don't have to solve the mysteries of the world. You can just be. You don't have to feel guilty about just being for these 20 minutes. You can get to whatever you need to get to afterward when you have the whole night. So we're just allowing things to be for now, exactly as they are. And just feeling what it's like to exist in the world. Feeling what it's like to breathe. And just try to take everything in around you. What are the sounds that you hear? What are the smells that you smell? What is the breath that you breathe? Just in this moment. There's that wonderful blessing, the Shechianu blessing. Thank God I was born. Thank God I was kept alive, sustained, and that I've been able to reach this exact moment of my life. This moment. I'm here. This moment. And I'm just being. Try to just be. As your mind takes you away from concentrating on your breath or hearing what's happening or just being, and your mind wanders as it will, just bring yourself back to your breath. No judgment. You don't have to be angry at yourself. It happens to everyone. So just bring yourself with love and kindness back to your breath. As we go into our last couple of minutes, it's Wednesday. We ask for two feelings. I like these feelings. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. It's always good to feel as if someone loves you. May I feel loved. May I feel that feeling that comes from caring. May I feel luminous. May I shine. May I glow. May I be filled with the light of knowledge, the light of goodness. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. And may I feel loved. Just say that to yourself on each breath. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. If you'd like to invite someone to be in front of you in your mind's eye, you can offer these feelings to them. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved. May you feel luminous and loved. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved. And bring it on back to ourselves. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous and loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. And then just bring ourselves to our breath. Just for a couple breaths. Just be for one last moment. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you were able to find stillness and peace. May you feel luminous, and may you feel loved. Have a beautiful evening.